do we feel that in this space, you get to meet people who initially are strangers because you're in this environment? There could be something that's shared that makes you feel connected to them, that makes you maybe have something that when you started the call and you didn't know the person, all of a sudden you feel, hey, I'm looking forward to seeing them on another call. I'm looking forward to what they have next time we connect, to say. Because this has been my experience where, most people I've not had the relationship with. A lot of people know me online, so they're inspired by something and saying, hey, I want to be around Martin. And I'm grateful for that. This space in particular allows them to get to know Martin, and not only me, allows them to get to know others on this in this space. And that's where, for me, like when we did the why process, there's also the how. So there's the why, the hows, and the what. So my why is to inspire people to trust and act on their desires so that they can inspire others. So when we're all living in alignment and this feels right, my intuition is telling me to do this, and we trust and act on that, we then become inspirational to other people. Like when people say that I inspire them, it must be because I'm living in alignment with myself. It has to be. And it's something that they're inspired by, and therefore I do that back. Now, part of the why, there's hows. How am I able to live in that space? So one of them is I create deep and meaningful relationships. So I create opportunities. I go on green lights. I create meaningful relationships. I always come home and I live in alignment. They're my 5. I've actually got them around the screen. I go on green lights. I create meaningful relationships. I live in alignment. I always come home. I create opportunities to grow. I've literally got them around my laptop. Because what happens is when things come up in my life, as in, somebody reaches out to me about an opportunity, I then look at those hows now. I never used to because I didn't know them. But I went through this process and I got clear on it. And it got to the point where I went, hey, I've got told about this incredible whole new social commerce thing that's taken off throughout Europe, and do I want to be a part of it? And it's the new trend, and you'll be a multimillionaire in 2 years, and all the usual jargon that you hear when the company's launching. And everything within me says no. It's a red light. Everything within me. But on the outside, all the jargon, all the talk, all the hype is like, woo, I could get involved in this. So I was like getting caught up. What do I do? There's so much noise. People hounding me because of my ability in that space. And I literally came back and I opened up my laptop probably about a week ago, if not 5 days ago. And the first thing I did was looked at I go on green lights. I read it every morning. Once I get up, I read my vision, my why, my hows, everything. And I instantly went, it's not a green light. And I messaged the person and said, sorry, but the only green light I've got is in this space of YDS. That's where my 100% my focus is, and that's where I'm going. And through actually being so direct and forward, that person then reached out and said, 100% support it. Because I was able to really step into that energy. And I think this is where when you look at, and like I said, one of mine is create meaningful relationships. This space has allowed me to do that. Through me being open and vulnerable in this space and sharing, it's created opportunities for other people to be open and vulnerable and share. And everything that we're building here is a space where people can be their true selves. Some of you here know me from my water business. In fact, all of you, I think, know me from a water business. But the water business is not me. It's part of what I do, and I'm good in that environment, but it isn't Martin Ball. If the water business closed down tomorrow and everything was removed, that doesn't mean that Martin Ball closes down tomorrow. I think of the power of that. And that's the ability then to show up in this space. And that's where the deep and meaningful relationships take place, because people get to know you. One of the guys who's recently joined the community, he met me through the water on social media, and he can't believe what he's receiving and how much he's growing right now. And we're not talking anything about what he originally connected with me for. I think of the power of that and the gift of that in this space. Like when we talk about the true power, connection, growth, communication, contribution, like there's so much. And he's reached out to me and he said, hey, look, I'd love for there to be a men's circle. I'd love for there to be an opportunity to bring more men into this space because I needed it. We're creating it. You know, we're looking at creating the women's side of that as well. Obviously not me facilitating, but I know I've got her now, but not me facilitating, but the women's side of it, because it's needed. Like, you know, you ladies sometimes need to be in your own space around other females to communicate on stuff that you don't want men to be involved in. And men also need the same. And I think it's incredible that we can come and create this space. And it only happens through men and women, but as human beings, as coming together and choosing to be open, choosing to say, hey, I'm here in this space. I'm ready to receive. I'm ready to contribute when and wherever I can. And that to me is where the true power of these calls are and the true power of the mastermind. So